Morning. How y'all doing? It is Thursday, August 28th. About 9 a.m. as of recording this video. I apologize for not posting sooner. I have tried. I've tried several times now in the past few days to make a video and get interrupted by a phone call. I was sitting out here on the porch a couple days ago to make a video, and my neighbor over there started ripping and running around his property on his four-wheeler. He likes to do laps around his property, and every time he comes on the back side of his house, which is just on the other side of the fence from my house, his four-wheeler drowns out whatever I'm trying to say. I completed a video a couple of days ago, tried to post it, and it wouldn't post. I don't know if it's my phone or if it's YouTube itself, because it's done this to me on two different phones. Every so often, sometimes it's pretty regular, and then sometimes I go several videos without it, but I'll make a video and it won't post. I'll go to upload it and it'll say video failed to upload. So I'm trying again. I've been sick for a while now. And I know I said before I kind of felt sick, but I didn't feel sick. Well, now I feel sick and I am sick. So hopefully that's all that's going on in my chest, you know. It's respiratory infection that I can't kick. Because I surely can't get in right now to find out about anything else going on. I did not have the meeting with the guy that's helping me with my insurance yesterday because I'm sick. I didn't want to bring him into the house, you know, and me haggard coughing and him get sick. So I rescheduled that for Tuesday. Talked to him on the phone last Friday, though, and he said that I may have an ace in the hole for getting my dual complete back, which I'm not going to go into details right now because it seems like every time I do that preemptively, it falls through. It happened like, what, 2-3 times on the mortgage? So, there is potentially a light in the dark, but I'm not going to describe it just yet. Oh, Lord. So hopefully I'll be able to find out more about that next week and maybe get my insurance back this next week. I don't know what the timetable is like. I don't know. I'm out of several medications, including 2 of my heart medications. And I am taking more supplements that help your heart. I'm trying to really baby it. I'm still, you know, trying to work outside and get stuff cleaned up and you know, still trying to continue to move forward, but I'm also trying to be real mindful of my heart and, you know, make sure that I don't overdo it. Because right now I just, I can't afford to. With the money that I got through donations, a couple of weeks ago, and I want to thank y'all again so very much for that. I was able to refill my Entresto, which is the medication I take for my heart failure. Uh, Let me see. My I'm out of my Lantus, which is my long-acting insulin. I'm out of my pregabalin, which is it does a couple different things. It's for nerve pain because I have a lot of nerve damage in my right foot, in my stump. And they say it's also supposed to be be kind of a antidepressant, which I was very wary of when they first put me on it, because I've seen and heard a lot of a lot of evidence that sometimes antidepressants are do more harm than they help. I have tried them before, and they didn't have any effect on me. And likewise, the pregabalin has never altered my mood or never helped in that regard, but it does help with the nerve pain slightly. But I'm also out of I'm out of the Plavix, which is it's for the platelets in my blood, and it's also a blood thinner. I can go a while without that. I've had to stop it, I think, as much as a week. I've had to stop it for as much as 10 days around surgeries. But I don't know how long I can go without it. So, and then I am out of my metoprolol, which is a blood pressure medication, and it lowers your heart rate. But I'm taking cinnamon capsules. Cinnamon is very good for your heart and very good for your blood pressure, because it does several different things for you. But one of the main benefits, is that it encourages your arteries and your blood vessels to expand, so that your blood flows more freely, especially in areas where it might be restricted. And that's very beneficial for my heart, because I have the coronary artery disease, which causes the arteries and blood vessels in my heart to kind of constrict and calcify. So the cinnamon helps with that. It helps keep my blood pressure down, because the blood flows better, which is also beneficial because my heart is rather weak. I've also been taking magnesium tablets, which is good for your heart. Salmon oil capsules, which is really good for your heart. The omega-3 oil capsules. Just about out of a couple of those too, but I get paid the first of the month, and Monday is the first, but it's also a holiday. So I will probably get paid tomorrow, if not sometime today. So I can restock my supplements a little bit, the ones that matter the most. But I've been on these prescription heart medications for a long time now, and I don't know how long I can go without them. We will see. hopefully not too long. Hopefully I get something done about my insurance this next week and I can start refilling some stuff. Um, we shall see. See, Tuesday my folks came out and picked me up, and we went out to their place and cut the grass. You know, we got the mower, trailer, and all that. Went out there. I cut the grass, and I helped my dad replace their well pump motor. Theirs had burnt up about a month ago, and my dad actually had to go and take out a small loan from Cash Advance America, whatever it is, to buy a new one. And fought like hell to find a new one. None of the big box stores, Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace, none of those carried anything close to it. There used to be a big plumbing supply outfit over in Palatka. It's an alarm that I forgot to turn off. Bremlitz Plumbing Supply. They were there for decades, but they closed recently. Was a family-owned business, and my folks said something about the most recent owner having passed away in a vehicular accident or something like that. So the business closed, and they have Home Depot, Lowe's, and Ace out there, but they didn't carry anything like it. Our friend Jeff came through again because he was able to find one through his business. He works for a plumbing supply, pool supply, or something like that company, and he found a pump through one of their catalogs, and he got it. And my dad paid him for it. But the thing is, it's listed as a pool pump motor, because my folks' well, was set up in 1977. So it is somewhat outdated. Everything still works perfectly fine, but the motor burnt up, and it's a cast iron wellhead. So we were trying to be real careful there because, again, it's, almost 50 years old, cast iron. And, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. I mean, all the engine blocks in my yard are cast iron, and they're decades old and running beautifully. But the problem with cast iron is you can crack it. You can bust it, and once you do, you're kind of screwed. But we found a motor for it. They found the motor, but it's listed as a pool pump motor, and it's almost the same. Everything is the same. The can's the same. The the bolt mounting pattern is the same. The base plate is different. On the old one, the base plate, the mounting plate, extends further out, and the back of the motor is more recessed. And the new one, it's mostly flush. So we're not sure if it's just that or if the motor shaft is longer. We got the old motor off, and I was looking at it, and I mentioned it to my dad, and he said, "Yeah, that's definitely different, but we gotta try it." So we Put the new one on. I helped him get it on, and then I trundled my way out to the exterior panel box, um, and I threw the switch to put power to the motor. And a couple seconds later, my dad yelled, "Turn it off!" And I got back up there, and he said it didn't do anything. It just hummed, like it got power, but it didn't do anything. And we were trying to figure out, what's wrong. I said, it clearly seems that shaft is longer, or the base plate is much less. The base of the motor is much less recessed in the mounting plate, so it could be that the impeller is pressed up against the inside of the cast iron pump housing. These motors have a cup on the other end, shaped like a cereal bowl, a little bit smaller in diameter than my hand. And you can take that off, and you can get into the electrical components of the motor, the points, and you can get to the other end of the shaft, and you can actually spin it. I said, so take that cowl off and see if the shaft spins. If it doesn't spin, then we know why. So we did that, and yeah, the shaft didn't spin. So we had the impeller pressed up against the well housing. So my dad said, well, let's try spacers. So he had a set of a thing of washers. So he went and got the washers. I went back to cutting the grass. I would cut the grass and intermittently ride the mower over to the well pump and see if he was ready for my help, and then go back to cutting the grass. He got the washers, and he was going to put 3 on each bolt. I said, let's start with 2 and see what that does, because we don't want it to come too far out and then the impeller not be making a seal and it be blasting water out the pump. So we did 2 washers per bolt, and it was a pain in the ass to do because we had to hold the motor in place and slide the bolts through the eyelets on the motor plate, and then slide the washers on the bolts, and then try to bolt them up with the washers between the motor and the pump housing. We got it done and got it bolted on, and then I went back there and threw the switch again, and it worked. I heard it scraping, but I definitely heard the motor running, and my dad said, shut it off, come back up there, and it that's what it was doing. The impeller was scraping on the inside of the cast iron housing. The impeller is plastic, so there's very little wiggle room in that regard. You really start to mess it up. So we're gonna go. We're gonna do 3 washers per bolt, but we ran out of time. I had the yard all done at this point. The grass was cut, but we had to get back out here to pick Joey up at the bus stop. So my dad is going to pull the motor back off, and what he's going to do, since I'm not there to help him and my mom's not capable of helping him, he's going to back the bolts off enough so the motor will wiggle, but not back them all the way out. And then one at a time, he's going to back a bolt out far enough to slip in a 3rd washer, run that bolt back into the threads, and then go around the 4 bolts doing that. And then once he's got 3 washers on, tighten everything up, and then fire it back up and see what it does. If that doesn't do it, he's going to get a hold of Jeff and see if Jeff can come up with a shim, and maybe a new impeller kit. Um, and there's looking online. They do make shims for it, so we'll see if Jeff can get those parts, and obviously we'll pay him for those as well. And I guess I'll go back out there, and we'll pull the motor completely off, replace the impeller. The impeller is almost 50 years old, in good shape, but plastic. So, and then put it back together, and hopefully it works, because they have been without running water for a while now. They don't drink it. It's a shallow well. It's only a 40-foot well. And it was set down in 77. And when I was a kid, you could drink it. There was definitely a lot of iron in the water. You could taste it, but not unsafe amounts. It was just barely there, and a lot of times it wasn't there at all. But as the neighborhood started to grow, and there was more of a demand on the aquifer, the water became less tolerable. The iron content went up. The pipe material may have something to do with it as well. So they don't drink their water. They just use it to wash and flush and all that. They get gallon jugs from the grocery store, and they reuse them for 2-3 months. Go back to the grocery store and fill them, or they come over here and fill them. They don't do that too often. Usually only when money becomes too tight even to fill the water jugs at Walmart. Because I have city water after a fashion. It's not St. Augustine City, because they don't come out this far south from town proper, but it's a private contractor, but they're contracted to the city, and it's kind of like our own little mini city water plant in my neighborhood, and I absolutely hate it. The water is gross. It's full of chemicals. I have a filter on my sink faucet in the house, and it makes it tolerable enough to drink, but it's still, you can taste it, and it does not agree with my mom at all. So I guess the machines at Walmart have a much better filtration system than this little faucet thing I've got. I would desperately love to have a well. I hate city water. I hate all the chemicals they put in it. If I had a well, I would want a deep well, and I would still have a hell of a filtration system on it. But ideally, if I could afford it, I would get rid of this nasty ass chem water and put in a well, and drinking good clean water from the earth. You see, I'm almost to my time limit. I found out last week that my ex-wife is moving not too far. She's only going like 3-4 miles further down the road. In doing so, she will now be zoned in Joey's school zone, so he will be able to take the bus to and from her house on the days that he's with her during the week. On one hand, I'm kind of bummed, because that's going to mean a little bit of time that I'm going to lose with him. But on the other hand, right now, it's going to help a little bit, because it's also going to mean that I'm not going to have to drive to and from the bus stop every day. I'll have to do it just the days that he's with me overnight and got to go to school the next morning. So 2 days one week, 3 days the following week, and staggered like that. I still don't know if 5 gallons of gas is going to get me through the month in my old truck. Uh, you would think 5 gallons of gas would be able to go up back and forth to the bus stop for a month just fine. I used to do it one day, sometimes 2 days a week, and I would be okay. But I don't know. My old truck, she sure does drink that gas. We'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here. I may do another video this afternoon. If not, I'll try to do another one tomorrow. I saw I had a new subscriber this last weekend. Thank you so very much. I will do my best not to bore you, although I make no promises. My GoFundMe link will be in the description. I hate constantly, pushing that, but unfortunately I'm going to need that for the foreseeable future. So if you can and would like to help out, I very much appreciate it. If not, I understand. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.